Can I afford to retire? Quite a difficult question to answer. However, as financial advisors, we can help you in working out if you're likely to have enough money to be able to lead the retirement lifestyle that you would like. In order to help you answer the question, can I afford to retire? What we will first do is find out a little bit about the lifestyle that you want in terms of what it's likely to cost you and when you're going to need access to your money. So what are your plans with regards to holidays? How much do you think you're going to have to live on? Have you got a mortgage that's left to be repaid? Do you need your tax-free cash for any other reason when you initially retire? So we find out what sort of financial picture we can paint for your retirement in terms of what you're going to need and when you're going to need it. We'll then look at the resources that you have available to meet those needs. So that will include your state pension, any retirement provision that you've got maybe via works pensions or old pensions that you're no longer contributing to, but also other assets that are not necessarily specifically pensions. It could be that you've got savings or investments or property income, for example, that can all be added to the pot when working out what you need, when working out how much you've got to live on in retirement. What we then do is take a closer look at those assets and work out the likely income or growth that those assets will be able to generate for you. And we'll do that by looking at how your money's invested, if it's invested, what level of risk you're at, how volatile the investments are. If it's rental income, we'll look at how likely it is that rental income is going to be long term. Are you likely to have gaps in rental income, for example? With your state pension, we'll check that you are going to get the state pension that you expect you'll receive. In other words, have you got any gaps in your contribution record which will affect how much state pension you actually get in retirement? Once we understand the likely income and growth that can be generated from all the resources that you've got, we can then project it forward and work out whether it's likely to last you when compared to the money that you are going to need to live the retirement lifestyle that you want. Now, all of these projections will have to make some assumptions. We're going to have to make assumptions on how much money you are likely to need in the longer term, because of course it might change. We've just got to go on what you think you're going to need right now, but then we can factor in inflation. So as the cost of living goes up around us and things get more expensive year by year, we can factor that in too. We also have to assume how long you're likely to live. This is a really tricky one because none of us know, do we? But what we can do is make educated assumptions using the Office of National Statistics on your life expectancy. And then finally, we have to make assumptions with regards to your money and how it's invested in terms of growth and what is realistically achievable and what might happen if it goes wrong. So for example, if you've got money invested in the stock market, what might happen if we have a global pandemic which causes markets to crash or something along those lines, which in a long 20 or 30 year retirement, there's likely to be something which could potentially derail your investment returns. So we do make a lot of assumptions, but once we have made these and we explain to you why we've made the assumptions we have, we can then project it all forward to paint the picture of what your retirement is likely to look like from a financial perspective. If it's looking good and it looks like you've got the right amount of capital behind you to allow you to retire, then that's great. If you've got any shortfalls and you may not be able to have the retirement lifestyle that you would like, then we can talk to you about the best way to plug those shortfalls and minimize those gaps to help you get to where you want to be as soon as possible.